matters is, it's my first time hearing about it, and as her husband, I reserve the right to say, hell no. Amen? Because that's what Jesus says on our behalf. He says, hell no. But sometimes there's someone standing there, they're making all of these promises, and they're bad deals. They're getting duped, they're getting swindled, like the woman was what? Swindled, deceived. Adam had the right to intervene, and he did not. When can he intervene? When he first hears it. In other words, I can't hear about it and say yes, and then a month from now, when I decide this ain't working out at the house, you know, I didn't know you were going to be going this long. Hello, man. I didn't know it was going to take up that much of your time. Now you want to say no. Too late. God doesn't even honor your no. Which means a man has to have foresight. He has to be plugged into the Lord to see what's going to happen if his wife gets involved in a certain thing. So now here is Jesus. Wife makes a promise. The devil swindles her. He deceives her. Or who we think is the wife. Let's say a believer. And you're there getting torn up from the floor up. The devil is beating you down. You're crying out to God. Sometimes he intervenes. Sometimes he doesn't. You can't figure it out. And Jesus is saying, drink the cup. You want me to intervene. That's what Jesus is saying. But I have no obligation to intervene because you did not drink the cup. The cup of the Lord. You cannot partake of the cup of the Lord and the cup of demons. He's saying it's either one or the other. You're either going to serve me or you're going to serve them, but you're going to have to drink the cup. Many of us think that because we're at the table, that means we're in the relationship. We think because we sit at the table, we sing songs of praise, we recognize that he is the chief of 10,000. We recognize that he's fairer than the sons of men. We recognize that he's beautiful. We know that he heals. We know that he died, that by his stripes we are healed. We think that that puts us in the game. What do we have? We have a union of powers. We have a union in our understanding. I understand these things about him, so I am united in this way. Picking and choosing. In other words, we make Jesus a friend with benefits. Wow. We've agreed to a certain level of something. I will yield this much of my life and my being to you because I understand this. In the meantime, you're broke, you're busted, disgusted, you're sick, you're tormented in the night, tormented in your dreams, get beat down at work, you have harassment everywhere you go, you're crying out to the Lord, sometimes he answers, sometimes he doesn't, and today the Lord is saying to you, drink the cup. Why? Because my only obligation when I drink that cup is to believe and obey. When I drink the cup, that means I accepted his proposition, and what happens now is the dowry is released. Yes. All right. This is all up in there. You are bought with a price. Yes. The dowry is released. The ransom. You get purchased. He now has the rights to you. He has a right to intervene, but not just a right, how about an obligation? Yeah. See, I'm trying to have God obligated to me. I'm working on my obligations with the Lord, but I'm trying to have him obligated to me. I want to be a carrier of his name so that if I fail, he fails. That's right. Yes. Because nobody, husbands can agree, nobody can embarrass you faster than your wife. My wife never embarrassed me, but I can imagine. Your children can cry out, they can embarrass you a little bit. misbehaved, you ain't real embarrassed. Everybody got kids. But if your wife embarrasses you, your whole world is shocked. Your ability to show your face in that place is something else. It goes away. You have all kinds of shame, not for your children, but for your bride. So I'm trying to have him obligated to me. That's what I'm trying to do. The cup of the Lord is the proposal of betrothal. And I believe that this is the season when we're going to come into the revelation of the bride. There's going to be more people drinking this cup. That's why so many of us, when you speak to people about your obligations, about being laid down before the Lord, they can't even hear you because they never drank the cup. So they don't understand being submitted to their husband. They don't understand someone teaching you to love your husband. That's what it says, that the older women teach the younger to love their husbands. So somebody comes along to teach you to love God, and immediately you get offended. I know. You know why you're offended? Because you haven't drank the cup. Yeah. Because if you drank the cup, you're taking every ounce of information that can bring you more, that can bring more pleasure to your bridegroom King Jesus. Yeah. Every ounce. Amen? Amen? Turn to your neighbor and say, drink the cup. Drink the cup. See, because the cup is ugly. The cup represents, let me first deny myself, take up my cross, and follow him. The cup is not a beautiful, lovely opportunity. Everything that he's going to do for me, everything that he's going to make of me is absolutely beautiful. But the dying that I have to do to drink this cup opposes my decision. So I'm talking about salvation here. I'm talking about salvation. Why? Some of us have been taught how to act like Christians and we're not even Christian. We know how to behave around the church. We even read the scriptures. We have a union in our understanding. But where our understanding ends, there it goes down. You see? That's one of the deceptions of Masonry. They tell you, doubt anything you don't know and understand for yourself. In other words, you can never enter into life with God. Wow. It's a trap. And you vow. You get locked into a union of powers that never brings about the kisses of his mouth, that never brings about the intervention of a husband. The intervention of a husband. You wonder how every other person around you seems to have this pleasure in God, that it escapes you. It escapes you because you've never entered into the embrace that comes after drinking the cup. You never enter into the celebration of heaven and earth as they see you agree to his proposal. Because you're eating the best salad, the best chicken. You're eating all of the appetizers that are on the table. But have you drank the cup? Have you drank that cup that says, yes, Lord? Because to drink one cup is to renounce the other. That's why he says you cannot drink the cup of the Lord and drink the cup of demons. You cannot sit at both tables. So the Lord in his romance and his love for us, he skips over mountains. He sees us from afar. This is what people don't understand, that the whole Song of Solomon is an engagement. There's no marriage in it. This is what people don't understand about the betrothal, that it's not like the engagement of the earth. That when Mary was pregnant with Jesus, she was in the house of Joseph. He brought his betrothed wife to be counted. She was no longer a part of her father's house. She was in her husband's house. before the ultimate consummation of their marriage, she was already walking with the name of Joseph. That is the church of Jesus Christ on earth. That is the revelation he's bringing us to. That you and I would walk in the name and revelation of the bridegroom. That I show up here with confidence because of who my bridegroom is. Children don't get the name the same way. I keep trying to share this with you in different ways. My son, he has my name. He even looks like me. Everybody say, in his image. In his image. But he's not one with me. He can't go to the bank and be me. My wife, she can go to the bank and be me. She can stand up here and speak on my behalf, and not one person would doubt her because of who she is in relation to me. Have you drank the cup? This is the most beautiful thing that the Lord has ever revealed to me in relation to my opportunity to be in oneness with Him. Two things revealed at the beginning of Genesis. You are in His likeness. Man is a triune being just like God. And we have the opportunity to be one with another. And I choose Jesus. See, there's really only two covenants you get to choose. You don't get to choose who your kids are going to be. You didn't get to choose who your parents are going to be. But you did get to choose who you would marry. You did get to choose your God. And the reason we can choose Him is because He chose us. And He stood up there and He said, I love you first. Did you drink the cup? He stood there and He said, I will do all these things for you. I'll give you the God kind of life and joy.